say to grab it, make it soon. Silence all the haters as they see us making moves. I do what I want, so I got nothing to prove. Staying motivated, teaching others what to do. I'm staying focused, my mind is open. They start to notice.
Hello, Why So Serial here. I was working on steampunk and I decided I need to stop messing around and go ahead and just make this video, because I've been more or less trying to decide how I want to approach it and how I want to go about doing it. Don't worry, this video is more lighthearted and more about me trying to do something to help the GD community as a whole, in terms of, you know, at least for the community that I'm a part of, which is more of the creator side of the community. I'm not sure what I have an idea for a video that I want to do to in the sense of, you know, my opinion on something that would be beneficial for the extreme demon beating side of the community. But for now, I'm gonna stick with what I know best, or what I have experience in, and that is creating. One thing that I have been seeing across the community is people trying to create good levels, and, you know, not even just that, but people struggling with, you know, knowing what is good, what makes a good level, and how to go about doing it. So I decided to put together what I call the equation for a good level. Now, this is part 1 of 7. This is going to be the first part, called Good Name and Song. Because for me, there are 7 aspects of a good level. As I just stated, good name and song, that's number 1. Number 2 is good gameplay. Number 3 is good sync. Number 3 is good design. Number 4 is good design. Number 5 is good deco. Number 6 is good vibe. And number 7 is good skill to memory ratio, which is my favorite one, which is why I'm saving it for last, because that one is where I'm going to go really deep into it, to really try to give people a good idea of what to go for in terms of, you know, different difficulties and whatnot. But let's stick with good name and song. This was probably the easiest and probably the simplest one, which is why I started with it. Good name and song, obviously, by the name itself, means you have a song that goes well with the name that you're giving the level. Now, from what I've seen in a lot of cases, people generally tend to just go with naming the level after the song. And I'm gonna be straight up honest. Steampunk at one point used to be called the end game. That's what it used to be called. It used to be called the end game. Let me see if I have that level sitting around. It should be in the scraps. Yeah, end game used to be called the end game because the song name was end game. So I figured, no, just go with called the end game. Looking back on it, it's like I regret it, but I don't, considering that now I know what Avengers. The Avengers movies being called. I feel like, you know, if I had went with that, it would have promoted it even more. But then at the same time, I'm glad I didn't go with that, because then it would feel like if it would sort of be like I'm just hype writing instead of actually going for something original that expresses myself. So it's alright to name your level the same name as the song. That's fine. Nothing inherently wrong with that. But if you're trying to go for a level that expresses your creative side and who you are as a creator, I wouldn't go for that in particular. Now, another problem that not really a problem, but a thing that I see is people just giving random names to levels that has nothing to do, that are designed in a way that seem to have nothing to do with what is it called. I see, I've seen one of those Darwin style levels, which seem to be for some reason extremely popular, called Pizza, and I'm like, okay. I played a level and it has nothing to do with pizza. I don't see the only thing pizza related was this pixel art at the end of a pizza slice, and that was it. And I'm like, how you gonna call your level pizza, and the entire level is just a Darwin style level with flashing colors that have nothing to do with pizza, which is usually like, red for the sauce, brown for like the bread, and maybe yellow or white for the cheese or something like that. It didn't really. I didn't see any connection to the name. It just felt like you just threw a name on there and slapped some 5 minute or 10 minute pixel art on the end screen and call it pizza. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't feel okay, whatever. Now, like I said, it's not inherently wrong. That's just in my personal opinion that I just think that's bad. I don't like that. That personally rubs me the wrong way. It feels like you didn't really put any real effort or thought into it. Now, for me, when I chose the chosen name for steampunk, I chose the name because I listened to the song very deeply, and if you listen, it was primarily centered around this part, the spider part, but there were other parts in the song that were like this part that made me settle on the name of steampunk. Like, you listen to the song, oh crap, that's not very presentable, but anyways, do it again. Now, if you listen to the song, you almost hear like a steam sound that comes at certain intervals of the song. Like, if you listen to it really really good, you'll hear it. So other parts of the song that have this sort of it's sort of like this jazzy sound to it, on top of because it doesn't sound futuristic. It does sound what's the word, old timey. It sounds like it belongs in the past. So it has this steam vibe. It has those steam sounds in it, and it has like this jazzy old timey backdrop to it, and then on top of that, there was another part in the song that was like that. Oh, don't want to go there. There's another part in the song. I believe it was somewhere around the UFO part. Yeah, here. Like here, it sounds like if you listen to it really good, it sounds like ticking in the background. So you got ticking, steam, old school. If to me, that made me think steampunk, and that's why I decided, I'm going steampunk, and I decided to theme the entire level after that. Now, why am I pointing this out? Because because sometimes I don't see people putting a lot of effort into naming their levels. Now, for example, I probably would more strongly go for a sort of a Darwin theme style level for the next installment, which is cyberpunk, because Darwin style does give me that look, almost like a cyberpunk look to it. I'll probably say a mix of Darwin and Laser Blitz. It's probably going to be styled that way a little bit. So I'm probably gonna have some people that are good with that style, and I'm gonna study that style myself and try to remix it my own way. But of course, this is to each his own. If this is, of course, not a requirement you have to do, but in my opinion, in order to create a level that reflects who you are as a creator, that's what I would go for. I wouldn't just slap a random name on there and just call it whatever, because that's just cheesy. It doesn't really resonate your creative who you are as a creator. Now, some people have told me, "Oh, I don't think that song fits well with the name, or I don't think it fits well with the theme." Like I said, it's to each his own. It ultimately boils down to what resonates with you as a creator. It's like I said, it's not supposed to resonate with everyone, because not everyone is going to see your creative vision. Not everyone is going to understand where you're coming from as a creator. So expect people to be like, "Oh, that doesn't make sense. Oh, it doesn't make sense here. It doesn't make sense there." Expect that, because that's how people are. People tend to not think twice about, you know what, this is not my level, this is their level, this is how they express themselves creatively. So you know what? Let's see what they do and see what becomes of it. I had people tell me that they thought that me doing this was a bad idea because I've never done this before, in terms of like these letters or whatever. And I said I want to try it. Just be patient and see what I'm gonna do. And now those same people are like, "Oh my God, it looks amazing! Wow, wow, wow! How did you do that?" And I'm like, because I just took my time on it, and I tried based off of what I see, based off of how I see the end product looks, and I'm like, okay, I want to try that. I'm gonna experiment and see what I can come up with. It's not always going to be easy to tell what somebody's trying to create from the jump. Sometimes you have to just let them rock and see what they're going to do. But back to the theme of good name and song. Now we've covered how you can basically take the time to actually think of a good name, and how you can actually take into account the song and listen to it and actually delve into the song. That's something that I don't think a lot of newer creators do. They don't really listen to the song. They just pick a song that sounds nice, and they just make some gameplay to it, and they just call it whatever, and try to get it rated. And I'm like, that's why a lot of levels aren't taken seriously nowadays, because people are so dead set on trying to get their creative points that they're not really enjoying. They're not really just enjoying the passion of creating something and seeing people enjoy it and play it. They've lost that vision, and all they see is, I want to get my level rated and I want to get my creative points. And I'm like, that's not what it's about. That's not what it's all about. It's about creating a level people can enjoy. People can see who you are as a creator and appreciate your creative style and approach, and become fans of your work. That's what it's about. Because the thing is that a lot of those levels in the dailies, you see them once and you forget what they were, and you forget them the next day, replaced by another level that looks exactly the same with some random name that has nothing to do with the decoration or the song. I'm gonna be straight up. For people who even know of this level, and as much as you might want to deny it, for people who are haters of me, because of the level of thought, passion, and effort I put into this level, just the name and song alone, I've taken the song Endgame and made it steampunk, because of how much thought and effort, I put into the name and the song. Nowadays, if anyone who hears of this level at all, the first thing that comes to their mind when they hear is steampunk. As much as some people hate me, as much as people hate my guts, they can't help but think of this. They think of this level. They can't help it, and that was the point. People are starting, and I'm not saying this because I'm full of myself, whatever. No, I'm saying this because this is a fact. I'm noticing it. More people are now more associating the song Endgame by Waterfly with steampunk than they are with Decode. Decode was the level that people used to associate this song with, and now, because of the effort that I put into naming this level and actually thinking about it, now people are starting to associate that song with steampunk. And I know I'm repeating this several times, with something that I usually do, is because I want people to get the point. The point is that you want people to recognize you as a creator. You want people to recognize your work. You want people to like your work. The first step, when it comes down to creating a good level, is picking a good name along with a good song. Now, good song is all subjective. Subjective in by what? What's sorry? What do you mean by subjective of a good song? Well, the song being good, depends on how what artists you like, of course. But that's not what G is about. G is not about what artists' songs you use. You don't really care as much about that. What makes people like the song is, when it comes down to the Geometry Dash community, is how the level resonates with that song. How it almost said a word that, regarding that's actually something entirely different. It's going to be an entirely different video. But how it resonates with that song. If the song just feels like it's just a backdrop, and a level feels like a completely separate entity, then it's not resonating well, and people don't really take your level seriously, even if it looks the prettiest looking thing in the world. And I've seen some really pretty looking levels, but because the song doesn't resonate well with the level, in terms of in this case, the name not really having anything to do with it. And even though I know this video is about name and song, but even down to decoration, even if it has nothing to do with it, you're just not gonna feel it. It's just, you're not gonna resonate well with the level at all. Like, think about it. Imagine if I used the song Endgame, and then I called the level Cupcake. Okay. And let's say this level looked exactly the same. Nothing different about this level at all, but it's just called Cupcake. Think about it. Would this level really resonate well, or really have a name, or really be interesting to people? Because they'd be like, Cupcake, Endgame, what? Because at least with steampunk, you can listen to the song and really think about it and be like, you can understand why I chose the name steampunk. But Cupcake, you don't get. I don't get that. Like, I bet you I can go right now while I'm recording this video and go to the daily chat. Oh, I beat that already. Okay, and find a random. Look at this. By Akon, Jumble. Okay. Ataraxia. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this level is called Jumble. Song Ataraxia by wholesome music. Now, what does this level have to do with jumbling things? Let's just go to practice just to see what this level has to do in terms of like his name. Okay, like I'm looking at this level and the name and the song, and I don't see how it has anything to do with each other. Because usually, if I think something that's jumbled, I think of something that's chaotic and crazy and all over the place. So I would think you would want something that's a little, like a song that's a little more high energy and sporadic, and more high energy. This song it has energy, but it's not an energy of something that's like you expect to be jumbled, or even something that sounds like it's confusing or ominous or mysterious. Like, I don't see how the name and the song have anything to do with each other. Now, like I said, I'm gonna go. I really want to go into decoration because that's like the thing that I'm passionate about, the thing that I love. But first things first. Now, I'm not hating on the level because some people have accused me of doing that. I don't really hate. I don't hate on levels. I give an objective opinion based off of what I see, not based off of what I think, but based off of what I see, or in this case, what I hear. And like in the case of what I feel about the song, match it with the name, that's still even that is comes down to personal opinion and um personal preference. But I'm just saying, at least for me, there are some levels out there that I'm like, I don't see how this song has anything to do with the name, which and then it turns goes into the levels, decoration and gameplay and design and vibe and skill to memory ratio, and I'm like, you know, this to me this doesn't really fit into the equation of a good level. It's a level. It's a decent level, but it, at least according to the equation that I'm presenting, it wouldn't really be a good level. And the equation that I'm presenting is basically what I would call the most it is me trying to be as objective as possible, devoiding any personal opinions and personal beliefs and personal bias, trying to go solely off of what I see or what I hear and what is objectively in the level. And just like I showed you, just some random daily level that I did not plan on playing at all, did not see it before. It doesn't really have a good name and song now, or good name and song um harmony. It doesn't make sense. You got the song that this random on song and some random on name, and it doesn't really seem to make sense. So how do we fix that? Well, best thing I could say is take more time is listening to the songs you're using for your level. Listen to it more. Actually dissect the song. Pick out things in the song that seem to stand out to you and say, okay, I like this part in the song. It seems to be something very strong, something very very defined about it, and I want to take that and I want to use it as a main thrust for the level. And I'm gonna take that and use it to and tailor my level that to that name. So I'm gonna listen to the song, find something in the song that I feel that I can use to thrust forward, and use that to generate a name, and then theme my level based off of that, and create something unique based off of that. And like I said, because I'm going to end the video soon, is the reason why I'm making this video is because I've seen too many of the same of cookie cutter levels, and rather than complaining about it or making an issue about it, why not do something to help? Why not do something to actually try to fix the problem? Why complain about it when you can actually spend your time to actually try to help fix it? So, quick recap. When you want to make for the first part of the 7-part symposium of the for creating a good level is having a good name and song. What you want to do is you want to listen to your song that you're using for your level very, very deeply. Don't just pick a song that sounds nice and just start making gameplay. No, don't do that. Listen to your song. Listen to it. In fact, dare say, meditate on it. Think deeply about the song and try to say, okay, this is the song, this is what I'm hearing in the song, and this is what I think is very dominant in the song, and seems to be a very common theme in the song. And let me take that and try to thrust and try to build on that to come up with a good name for the level itself. It's almost like same thing with a child. What was the first thing that happens when a child is born? They get named. You don't start teaching your child or building up your child into a grown, or let's say it's a boy. You don't start raising your son into a man before naming him in the first place. Imagine somebody growing up never having a name because their parents wanted to first raise them to be a man, before they actually named him. That's kind of backwards and dumb. So naming your level is the first thing you want to do, and you want to make sure you pick a good name and a name that makes sense, especially according to the song. Because even when it comes down to human beings, you don't want to give a girl a masculine name. That's kind of weird. That's like naming a girl Jeffrey. I'm sorry, that's kind of funny. I can imagine a girl, saying, "Hi, hey, what's your name?" "Oh, Jeffrey." Okay. You see how weird that is? You see how weird that is? Screw the stupid SJWs who would do something like that just to quote unquote rebel against gender norms, but just how weird that is. A girl named Jeffrey. Oh, that's an uncomfortable situation. But you can see the point of a good name. Don't just name your level anything, because then it could just be awkward playing your level rather than being fun and enjoyable. What are your thoughts on this? Give me your opinion on this. Hopefully you did watch the entire video. I'm probably not going to make a shortened and condensed version of this because I want people. This is me talking to you. This is me having a discussion with you. Me sharing a piece of myself with the community. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think I have a point, or do you think there's something I missed, so something I'm overlooking? Do you think that in terms of creating a level, good song, a good name to song relationship is an important thing when it comes down to a level, or do you think it's just something that's honestly irrelevant? It doesn't really need to be spent. It doesn't really deserve a lot of thought into it. Because to me it does, but everyone thinks differently. So like I said, tell me what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I am going to try to be more consistent with these, because I actually do enjoy, I wouldn't say venting, but like talking about things that I'm passionate about, talking about things that I enjoy, and sharing my thoughts with my subscribers. And I don't know if people enjoy these or not, if they enjoy hearing what I have to say and listening to it, but let's see. But I'll see you guys in the next one. In the next video, we will be talking about good gameplay. Now, this one is going to be something that's most likely going to resonate more with a lot of people, because there's a lot of people who really like to make gameplay. And trust me, I know there's a lot of them who think that making gameplay is everything, and they just go into servers begging people to decorate their gameplay. But I'm not getting into that. I might talk about that in the gameplay video, but look out for that one. I'll see you guys in the next one.